Good morning and welcome back, traders. We've got another long-term trade that we're going to be keeping our eye on, and this time we're going to be bringing in the New Zealand dollar, or the Kiwi. If you have a look at the Euro New Zealand dollar pair, you'll see that we have some interesting things happening, but more importantly, we have a very big news event coming up tomorrow, which will hopefully push this in either direction. So let's first have a quick talk about the news event coming up. Tomorrow, the RBNZ, which is the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, is going to be talking about its policy decision. Basically, things have been going reasonably well in New Zealand recently, even though the exchange rate has fallen quite significantly over the last few weeks. We can see here how it's taken a hammering to the euro. But things are starting to look better. Their inflation seems to be under control. Everything is quite happy, and there might be an interest rate change, which we'll hear about tomorrow, as well as a few other things happening. So we don't know what's going to come out, obviously, otherwise we'd already be trading it. But we do know that something is going to be coming out, which is going to push the market in another direction. So now we want to have a look at the technical analysis side and see if it makes sense and see if things correlate and match up, which they do. What I've done here is I found an ascending line here which is running across, and we can see that the market has come down and tested it a few times, came quite close here. These are the 2 points that I drew in. That one was bang on. So yes, we feel fairly comfortable. This is an ascending line that's been going up. But now we've also had some reasonably large movements in this area. I'll switch back to the 4 hour. So what I did is I took the low and the high of this most recent range and put in the Fibonacci levels. Now, yes, Fibonacci is a self-fulfilling prophecy. There is no reason why it should work, except for the fact that so many other people use Fibonacci. So I do like to use it as a confirmation. We will be covering this extensively in the course. I'm going to be adding a whole lot of new videos on that in the next month or 6 weeks. So if you're not on the course, you should go ahead and sign up for that and get it for free, no strings attached. And so here we go. We have the Fibonacci lines drawn in, and just to see if people are responding to this fib level, we can see that, you know, it did actually bounce off the 50 cent almost perfectly, which is good. This is obviously the high point that I chose. And here we go. We can see here that the 50 level has been hit perfectly several times, and a very near hit, and the 38.2 level has been hit, and again the 61.8 has been hit pretty perfectly. So we can feel fairly confident that there are some big players in the market out there who are watching the very same fib levels that we've drawn in here. So that's another thing to be looking out for. Also, we've identified this range here between 1.6825 and 1.6675 as being a place of interest. We've seen a fair amount of action happening here, and coupled with the fact that it crosses over two of the Fibonacci lines, which we have confirmed have been hit. So anything can happen in this area. And once again, I can't tell you which direction I think this is going to go because of the RBNZ decision that's coming out tomorrow, but we definitely want to be watching it. The ideal situation is that we get a candle coming off one of these fib lines or off this ascending line here, and it'll tell us, say, go long, and the news decision will also confirm long, and then we can go ahead and we can trade it up. But we might also be seeing a change into a bearish market. It has been bearish recently, but in the longer term, we can see clearly that the much bigger picture is bullish. But this could very well be a turning point. This could be the New Zealand dollar rallying against the euro, and I believe that the policy decision coming out tomorrow will be able to tell us about that. So what you want to do is go ahead, find these two levels. Today's date is the 8th of November 2017. So load up your 4 hour chart. You should be able to find these two levels, draw in the fib lines, and then also look for this line across here and keep your eye out for it, and keep an eye on that decision. If you want to keep an eye out on exactly when this is coming out and get a reminder, just head on over to jpmarkets.co.za. Under education, you'll see we have an economic calendar that's built in. Go ahead and load up that page. It's already set for our time zone, so you don't have to fiddle about with anything like that. And it is tomorrow. Well, it's tomorrow in New Zealand, so it's tonight in South African time. At 10 o'clock tonight, we're going to be seeing the interest rate decision coming out, the policy statement, and the rate statement. These two, being the interest rate decision and the rate statement, are the two most important ones that we need to watch. And yes, we could see some fantastic movement. Just keep in mind that everything you do in Forex is a risk, so keep your amounts low on this, but you certainly don't want to miss out on a potentially fantastic trade.